So hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of the tutorial 1.12, which is we need to find the repeating and the missing number in a given array. So before watching this tutorial, we would recommend you to visit our first tutorial on this particular concept, which is repeat and missing number. So it is divided into two parts. So we would recommend you to watch the first part in order to understand the logic and the problem statement in depth. This is the optimized solution for the same, and here we have tweaked the problem statement a bit. So as in the previous part, which is part 1, the array given was read only, that is we were not allowed to make any changes to the original array. But in this problem statement we are making it a read, not just read only, but we can also modify the given array. Okay, it is an ordinary array, not just read only. So the problem statement is same, that we are given an array of size n and which are ranging the elements from 1 to n. So what we need to do, we need to find the repeating and the missing elements in this array, where one element is repeating twice and exactly one element is missing. So for example, we took this particular case where the elements were 3, 1, 2, 5, 3 and the missing element was 4 and the repeating element was 3. So this was the output. So this all has been covered in the previous part, so we highly recommend you to watch it. And this was the concept that we discussed in that part, that is when there is only a read only array given, so you just need to create a temp vector of size n plus 1, then you initialize it with -1. So this was the code for the same. So I'll just quickly help you to revise that particular concept. So what is required, suppose you are given an array or a vector, and what you do, you just create another vector of size n plus 1 and initialize each of the value with -1. Okay, then what you do, you loop over all the values in that particular newly created vector from 0 to n, because n is the new size. Then what you do, you set temp of a of I equals to -1. So whichever element is occurring in the vector a, that particular index value will be set to 1. Okay, and whichever is repeating will be consumed here, and we will push it to the answer vector because we need to keep a track of the repeating value. Then what we do, in order to find the missing value, we just loop over all the elements in the temp vector from 1 to n plus 1. Basically equals to n refers to till n. Okay, so this is very important. Here it is less than or equals to n. Okay, so we are moving up to n and not just n minus 1. And if any of the value is set to -1, then that is the missing array element. So this is just a quick overview, but in order to understand it in a better manner, we recommend you to watch the first part if you haven't watched it yet. Okay, now let's come to the optimized approach for this particular solution, but keeping in mind that now the array can be modified. It is not a read only array. Okay, so this approach is without using extra space. Previous was with using extra space. Why extra space? Because we were creating our own vector temp of size n plus 1, but here we are not using any extra space. Okay, so that's why it is more efficient. So whenever this question comes in an interview, you should always ask whether the vector can be modified or it cannot be modified, or whether there is a need for space optimal solution or not, and hence you can decide between the two approaches, but both works fine. Okay, so let's come to this approach. So this is traverse the given array. While traversing, use the absolute value of every element as an index and make the value at that index as negative to mark it visited. So if you will watch previous video, you will come to understand the logic of visited and non-visited array element. What is visited element? As the name suggests, it is something that we have already visited, and it helps us to keep a track of the repeating element, because if something is visited twice, then it is the repeating element, and if something hasn't been visited even once, then it is the missing index. This we have covered in the previous part 1. So what we are doing here, we are just taking that particular value itself as the index. Listen it very carefully. Okay, this is the main part of the question. In the previous part, what we were doing, we were creating another vector temp to keep a track of the values and the indices that has been occurred. Why indices? Because as we are guaranteed that the numbers are from 1 to n, so we are sure that if we create something of size n plus 1, each of this will definitely be the perfect indices for this particular vector. Okay, but in this case we are not making use of the temp array because we need to do it without using any extra space. So what are we doing? We are treating the same value as the index but with a negative sign. So this I will help you understand again when we come to the coding section. So if something is already marked negative, then this is the repeating element. So this is how we do the visited part here, that if something is marked negative, then there was previous occurrence of it when it was marked negative, hence it is a repeating element. And if to find the missing element, we just traverse the array again and look for the positive value. Why? Because if something is left positive till now, it means that it hasn't been visited even once, and hence it is a missing value. So this is the concept of this particular logic. So let's dive to the coding section when we can discuss it in better manner. Okay, so let's create a vector to test our code. So vector A, let's write 3 1 5 2 3. Okay, so what should be the output? The missing value, the repeating value is 3 and the missing value is 4. Okay, 4. Why? Because as you can see, 3 is repeating twice but 4 is missing. So we'll just confirm this after running our code. So let's do that. The missing, first the repeating value equals to what? Answer of 0. So where do we get that answer? Let's create a vector int of name answer and let's call the solve method of our own and pass this as input parameter. Okay, so what will this return? This will return a vector consisting of two values, first the repeating element and second the missing element. So we have printed the repeating element. Now let's write it down for the missing element. Semicolon is missing. Okay, so the missing element, let's call it element. So the missing element is 1. Okay, yeah, now let's come to the main logic of the part 2. Okay, part 1 we have used temp as an extra vector, but here we are not making use of any extra space. So return type would be vector of int, as we are calling this method and storing it in a vector of int. So let's do the same here. The input parameter is a vector of int. What is this? It is just the original given vector, this particular vector, okay, which we are treating as indices in this particular case. And let's create the output vector output, and we'll return this particular vector. So let's write the logic here. Okay, so let's first find the number of elements present. So int n equals to a dot size. This will give us the number of elements present in this particular vector. Now let's do let's create two variables, repeating comma missing. Okay, two variables, repeating, to store repeating and the missing values. Okay, so now let's come to the logic. While traverse the complete array. Okay, so let's do that. Int I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Okay, so this loop we are traversing the given vector. Okay, so while traversing, use the absolute value of every element as an index and make the value at this index as negative to mark it visited. Okay, so it's a very big statement. Let's split it into subparts and understand here. What do? We treat the absolute value of this. Okay, let me come again. We treat the values of this particular vector as the index in this particular vector itself. So let me first write and then explain you. If a of absolute value of a of I minus 1 is greater than 0, then what do? We set absolute value of a of I minus 1 a of absolute value of a of I minus 1. Okay, so no need to worry, we'll go through this step by step. So let me first explain you what I am doing. Instead of this, let's create another vector, index equals to absolute value of a of I minus 1, and instead of this particular part, let's make use of index here. So this is a technique, like a programming technique that you should follow whenever the code looks very dirty, or I could say very complex. Just create another variable of type something and use it in order to make it look simple. Okay, so that others could also understand your code. So it's a very helpful practice while working in an organization, because when many people are working on the same code. Okay, so just a tip. So let's go through what we have done here. What we are doing, we are creating another variable of type int as index, which is absolute value of a of I minus 1. First of all, why minus 1? Because the values in a of I are ranging from 1 to n. Okay, so what would be the indices ranging from 0 to n minus 1? Sorry, if the values are n, if there are n values, then the indices would be from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, now in order to treat 1 to n values as indices, as you can see, 1 is the minimum, but here index 0 is the minimum, and n is the maximum, but index n minus 1 is the maximum. So what is the formula? N minus 1 is the logic. Like when you want to convert the value to indices form, you need to subtract 1 from them in order to get the index. Okay, so that's why we are just subtracting 1 from it to get the index. So if the value is 1, so index would be 0. Okay, now what are we doing? We are taking absolute value of this. Why? I'll just explain you in a short while. So if a of index is greater than 0, what does this mean? If it is greater than 0, then it is not visited yet. Not visited means, as the original values are from 1 to n, that is they are positive, so it means it has not been visited. So mark it visited. Marking it visited means just setting it the negative of that value. So if the previous value was 4, then convert it to minus 4. Again, if the previous value was 3, convert it to minus 3. Okay, so this is the step that we are using to mark it visited. We are not marking it visited as minus 1 in the previous tutorial. We are just marking it negative of itself. Okay, so this you will understand in a short while we are doing so. And if it is negative, so else part, then just set repeating equals to absolute of a of index. Okay, so of this, okay, let's understand what's happening. Suppose the input array that we are dealing with is, what is the array? 31523, 3 comma 1 comma 5 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll loop through all these elements, that is 0 to n. Index equals to absolute value of a of I minus 1. So first the absolute value of a of 0 is 3 minus 1, so 2. So a of 2, if a of 2 is greater than 0, so we mark it as just minus of itself. Okay, so minus 1 into that particular value. So what is the value at index 2? 1. So we will set 1 to minus 1. Okay, and we'll keep repeating this again and again. But as you can see, there will be an occurrence where this particular value 3, so let's come to this part, you will understand it better. So when I becomes 1, so what is a of I? A of I is 1, and absolute value of a of I is also 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, so this becomes 0, index becomes 0. So if a of index, what is a of index? A of 0, a of 0 is 3. Okay, if a of 3 is greater than 0, which is yes, it is 3, so set it a of index equals to minus 1 into a of index. So what are we doing? We are setting 3 as minus 3. Okay, so this 3 will become minus 3. I'll explain you what's happening in a short while. Okay, then when you revisit this code, okay, So ultimately you will come to this part. Okay, so what will happen? Again, index would be absolute value of a of I minus 1, which would be this particular value. And when you will check this line, if a of index is greater than 0, so we'll come to understand no, it is not 0, because we have already marked it as minus 3 before only. So this will help us to understand that some value is getting repeated, and then we will store the repeating value as the absolute value of a of I. Why absolute value of a of I? Because we had set it to minus 3. Okay, just for the visiting purpose, but ultimately we need to store the value of the visiting repeating element, which was 3 and not minus 3. So that's why we are just storing absolute value of it. Just pause the video and go through this again, and you will definitely understand it. We have set 3 as minus 3 just in order to mark it visited, so that it could go to the else part, because what is if part? If part is just checking for positive value, but after setting it minus 3, it will go to the else part, because this is not positive anymore, and the repeating value will become absolute value of a of I, which is absolute value of minus 3, which is 3. Okay, so we have stored the repeating value. Now it's very simple to find the missing value. So just loop int I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. So what are we doing? We are just looping once again through all the values, and finally whichever value was visited was set to minus 1. Okay, here, because of this particular piece of code. But whichever value remains to be positive is the missing value. Why so? Because it was not set to negative of itself here, and hence it is missing. So what we will do, if a of I is greater than 0. Okay, so if the value at particular index, if the value a of I at particular index I is greater than 0, then that particular index value is missing. So what do? We write missing equals to I plus 1 and break. Why break? Because we have found the missing element as well, so there is no need to loop again. So let me explain you this once again. If a of I is greater than 0, okay, so if particular value present at index I is still positive after passing through this entire code, it means it was not set here. Okay, why was it not set here? Because it is not present in the array itself. Okay, that's why we haven't look, if a particular value is not present in A, then we will never get index value as this. Okay, and when we never get index value as this, we will never come to this part, and hence we will never set it to negative of itself. That's why when we come across a positive value, we know that it was not definitely present in the original array a of I. Okay, and that's why missing is set to I plus 1. Why I plus 1? Because if the value is missing at index I, which is at index 3, so the value is 4, because starting from 0. Okay, so just pause this once again and go through it. You will definitely understand it in a better manner. Now just put these values. So how to put values in a vector? Just output equals to create a vector with these particular elements, repeating, comma, missing. Okay, so we have just created a vector. We have created a vector here, but we are initializing it here with the repeating and the missing value, and we are passing it, and this is the final. So this is a very important concept of marking it visited without making use of another vector. Okay, so do spend some time on this, and let's try running this code. G++. Okay, it got compiled successfully. Let's run it. Perfect. The repeating element is 3, as you can see here. Where is the, yeah, repeating element is 3 and the missing element is 4. Okay, because as you can see, 1 is present, 2 is present, 3 is present, 4 is not present, 5 is present. If we simply make it 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so answer should be that the repeating value is 2 and the missing element is 3. Let's check it finally. The repeating element is 2 and the missing element is 3. Okay, great. So it is working fine for all the cases. So we would recommend you to spend some more time understanding this concept. It's not an easy concept, but it's definitely of great help. Okay, so thanks for watching.